Hey legends, this is another out of the theater reaction from My Geek Culture and the Review podcast. Just got out of the cinema, out of Reading Cinemas in Rouse Hill, watching Spider-Man Brand New Day in Titan Luxe. Let's just say, was on my most anticipated films of the year list. Being Marvel, big Marvel fan, love the movies, love this universe, and very much was looking forward to this film. Now, I am a fan of all the John Watts trilogy that had Tom Holland in it, and haven't been a huge fan of the first two. Homecoming was okay. Far From Home, I thought it was a little bit, but No Way Home, I really enjoyed. So I had some expectations going into this one. I wanted to have more of a grounded story. I wanted to see more of our friendly neighborhood Spider-Man doing local crime on the streets of New York and don't need the big spectacle and things like that. I just wanted a grounded Spider-Man that we haven't seen from Tom Holland. I wanted to see him be the forefront of this. And even though we've had some big supporting characters in this, I still wanted to see it being a Spider-Man film. And they delivered. They definitely delivered. I thought this film was very good in being able to keep to the narrative of the character of Peter Parker and him trying to find a way to deal with if he's going to be more Spider-Man, less Peter Parker, or vice versa. And they delivered on that, and providing the different thoughts and the trials that he'll need to go through to come to terms of how to separate himself between the two, and they delivered on that. I thought the action was great. I find that some of the CGI in the first act was bad, and some of them it was very noticeable, which took me a bit by surprise, but they redeemed themselves as they got later on, and some of the action scenes were great. One of the things I point out about the action scenes, especially going into the third act, I'm a big fan of Insomniac Spider-Man games. I played those games through multiple times. I love them. And you can tell, that, especially from what the interviews I've noticed, that especially from the director, Dustin Daniel Cretton, and Tom Holland, they said that they took some inspirations of a lot of things. They took some notes from the fans. They took some notes about a lot of other things. And you can tell that they've taken some inspiration from the video game. So when they're doing some of the action scenes and things like that, you can tell that that's straight out of the video game. Some of the takedowns and the webbing and things like that, which was being someone who's a fan of those games, that I was going, oh, that is cool. I like that. That's great. The performances. Tom Holland is great as always. He's Tom Holland as Spider-Man. He's great. Nothing too, there was definitely a more emotional impact I found with No Way Home, but this one still provided a lot of emotion, especially with his interaction with his wife now, Zendaya. Some of those scenes that they had were impactful and emotional, especially after the aftermath of what happened with No Way Home and the spell of him forgetting everything. So that plays a part in this one. So, and then bringing in a big tadpole characters like Frank Castle, the Punisher, bringing in Bruce Banner as the Hulk, just provided a bit of that elevation of adventure within all the fantastical within the Marvel universe, which was great. That Hulk scene that you see in the trailers was great, very greatly shot. The CGI on the Hulk was the best it's ever been. I'm so glad to see Rage Hulk back. I was really happy to see that. I was very much about what a lot of people were saying. I wasn't a fan of Hawaiian shirt looking Hulk that we got in She-Hulk. So the fact that we're starting to get back into Rage Hulk, I love to see that. And John Bernthal's Punisher has been fantastic since his inception in Daredevil Season 2. He's been fantastic, and I love his interpretation of the character. And he had a bit more screen time than I thought. He wasn't overshadowing, but he definitely folds and blends into the world of this version of Spider-Man, and they don't compromise on his character, which I was really happy to see. He blends in very well. He interacts with Tom Holland's Spider-Man seamlessly, and they work together very great. Now, this is not going to be any spoilers. We're not going to do anything spoilers, but Sadie Sink does deliver a great performance of the character she is playing. Now, we all know, knowing what she's playing, if you've been on the zeitgeist of online, because we all kind of know what kind of character who she's playing. But for those who don't know, I'm not going to give anything away, but we all know who she's playing. But does a great performance, and a lot of twists and turns with her as well, and some character development, not character development, but a great arc and plot for her to follow through. And it's very looking open to see what she does in the future within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So overall, I think Dustin Dean Cretton has nailed it again with another Marvel IP. Shang-Chi that he delivered a number of years ago has been one of my favorite films post Endgame, and he's delivered on this one again. Now, like I said, this one's not my favorite out of the Tom Holland films. That's still No Way Home. I'm not walking out of the theater buzzing with the Marvel effect, where I'm on such a high about being in a Marvel film. So I'm taking some notes about the film delivers on some points, doesn't believe it. I wouldn't rank it so high, but I still had a fun time. It is a great Marvel film. It's a great send-up to lead into the event of the year that is Doomsday. I cannot wait for that. That one's my number one for the year. Cannot wait. Now, anyone who's interested, there is one post-credit scene right at the end. It doesn't tee up anything amazingly, but it's a little tease there. I didn't take much from it. I didn't understand too much what the post-credit scene was teasing, but it was still great to see. And you're not a Marvel fan unless you stay to the end credits. So we have to stay for the end credits. So overall, I had a great time with Spider-Man Brand New Day. Always enjoyed it. He is one of my favorite characters within the Marvel universe. Not just the cinematic one, but just a Marvel character in general. I like what he represents, what he values, and he's just a character for everyone. So really enjoyed it. Had a fun time with it, and I think I would rate it about, on my letterbox, a solid 3.5 stars. I don't think I'll get it to 4-star years. Maybe with a rewatch, I might see it a bit differently. But at the moment, it's a solid 3.5 stars. But I think I might talk about it a bit more on the podcast. But if anyone is interested in having a fun, entertaining adventure out with our friend and neighborhood Spider-Man, then I'll say give this one a go. So that's my thoughts coming right out of the theater here in Rouse Hill Reading Cinemas. And we'll catch you next time on the podcast or for another Out of Theater. Keep being awesome, keep being amazing, and be kind to yourselves. May the force be with you.